Perry from Perry's Passport, and I'm going to show you how I packed 1 week's worth of winter clothing into a personal item and got it all to fit. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And please stay to the end for a little extra bonus. So in our last video, I said I was going to pack all 3 of the viral video backpacks with 1 week's worth of clothing and see if I could get it into each of those bags. My packing list and the link to my last video are in the description below. Let's go. So this is the capsule wardrobe for 1 week of winter clothing, consisting of 1 large compression cube for the sweaters, 1 medium compression cube for the long and short sleeve shirts, leggings, and a pajama, and a small cube for 1 week's worth of undies, socks, bras, and 2 tank tops. All 3 bags use the same 3 cubes for the pack. So this is the Coowoz. It came in as 11.5 across the bottom, 7.5 across the top, and 7 3/4 on the side after you batten down the hatches. Now I do feel confident that this would get into the drop boxes for personal items at both Spirit and Frontier. And other than you having to be a strategic packer because it was a little bit on the tight side, I think that this is a great bag. This is the Vgcub, and as you saw, I had some difficulty packing it, and that's because it's definitely the smallest of the 3 bags. Now, full, the bag came in as 11 across the bottom, 17.5 across the top, and 7.5 in the width. So it definitely would clear the drop boxes at Spirit and Frontier for personal items. That's not a problem. You also might have noticed that I didn't use this front pocket here, and that's because I was worried, since it protrudes from the bag, that it wouldn't clear the personal item box. So the Vgcub definitely works if you want to fight a little bit with the bag. So this is the Rinlist. As you saw, it was the easiest to pack. It's the bag that was the deepest. It came in at the bottom, 11.5, 17.5 on top, and when you batten down the hatches, about a hair under 8. So I'm going to be taking this to the airport to try it out, because if it doesn't make it through the personal size item box at Frontier, Spirit, EasyJet, Ryanair, it's not worth it. So here I am at the airport, and as promised, I'm dropping the Rinlist into Frontier's, Spirit's, and even JetBlue's drop boxes for personal items, and it fits. So there you have it, 1 week's worth of winter clothing in a Rinlist that cleared all the drop boxes at the airport. Now, as promised, my packing tip for packing with any piece of luggage, but especially when you're using a small piece of luggage like a personal item. When I pick my packing cubes, I always pick them to fit the size of the luggage. That means I've measured out the dimensions of the luggage and the measurements of the packing cube, so I can use every nook and cranny of that piece of luggage with those packing cubes. Now, the question is often whether or not you should use compression cubes or regular packing cubes. Now, whichever cube you pick, always pick one that has a mesh on it. So A, you can look inside of it, and B, it lets it breathe. Your clothing needs to breathe. Okay. But whether or not you pick a compression cube or a regular cube depends on 2 things. 1, if you're using a regular cube, you can roll it, and rolling always gives you more items per bag, per packing cube. And with a compression cube, because you develop a bump, you get this bump in the middle when you pull the compression all the way around, you have to flat pack your clothing. So you're going to fold it and flat pack it into that, because when you roll it and you try to then go to compress it, it's impossible to compress. And 2, you've got usually more stuff in there because, as I said, when I roll my clothing, I get more into a cube. So you have to keep those 2 things in mind when picking your packing cubes. Now, I will be including my specific packing cubes that I used in the packing of the Rinlist and all the other bags, because they pretty much fit well in all 3 bags, in the description below. I also included my full packing list for 1 week's worth of winter clothing in my description below. In my next video, I'll be trying a more fashionable, bougie kind of bag that I plan to take on my trip to England. If you like this video or you found it informative, please like and subscribe and tune in for my next video. Bye.